Blaming Elon Musk's X for the distribution of AI-generated child porn or women in bikinis is a bit like blaming the car for a jihadi terror attack at a Christmas market. Well, the breaking news in the last few moments is that Sir Keir Starmer has said that his government, his Labour government, will control grok, even if Elon Musk will not. But the other bit of breaking news today is that Ofcom has now launched a formal investigation into Elon Musk's social media platform, X. This comes after significant pressure from this Labour government.
Disgraceful. It's disgusting. And it's not to be tolerated. X has got to get a grip of this. And Ofcom have full support to take action in relation to this. This is wrong, it's unlawful, we're not going to tolerate it. I've asked for all options to be on the table. It's disgusting.
Why is he so close to the camera? I thought he was about to headbutt me for a second there. People like Labour Minister Chris Bryant came out and said this: nobody is talking about banning X/Twitter in the UK. This is conspiracy theory number 3,627. Well, he's had to delete that tweet because this morning it turns out the government really is considering it. Here's Minister Peter Kyle.
Would this government in the UK ever genuinely consider banning X?
Yes, of course. We gave these powers to Ofcom, and not giving them the powers to Ofcom with the proviso that they will never be used. We gave very strident powers to Ofcom, which is our independent regulator, with very specific legal obligations to and the powers to use them in certain circumstances.
Right, so it's on then, isn't it? And today, Liz Kendall, the Technology Secretary, said this:
sharing intimate images without someone's consent or threatening to share them, including images of people in their underwear, is a criminal offence for individuals and for platforms. The Data Act, passed last year, made it a criminal offence to create or request the creation of non-consensual intimate images. And today, I can announce to the House that this offence will be brought into force this week.
Right, so they say that they are banning it because they care about grok, the AI tool, and how it can be asked to put pictures of women and underage children in bikinis. Now, that is obviously disgusting and wrong. That feature clearly needs to be stopped. But here's why I don't believe the Labour government. Firstly, a ban would bring the UK into line with countries like Iran, Russia, China, Malaysia, Pakistan, Indonesia. You know, do we really want to be in the same bracket as those countries? Why have those countries banned it, do you think? Could it be that the Labour government wants to ban them for very similar reasons as those authoritarian nations? Secondly, this government can't suddenly claim to care about the rights of women and girls now. Pakistani rape gangs have been operating in Labour-run areas for decades. Starmer said that people only wanted an inquiry to jump on a far-right bandwagon. And the new deputy leader, Lucy Powell, had to apologise after she dismissed those victims and survivors by calling the whole thing a dog whistle.
I don't know if you saw the documentary on Channel 4 about rape gangs over
this.
We
want to blow that little trumpet now, do we? Yeah, OK.
There was a real issue.
Let's get that dog whistle out, shall we? Yeah.
Oh, they care about women and girls, though. They really do care. Rape gang survivors have even accused Jess Phillips of calling them liars over their concerns about the National Inquiry. I could go on. They don't seem to care about women and girls when it comes to the epidemic of rapes and sexual assaults committed by illegal immigrants. The Ethiopian illegal migrant, that one, Kabatu, assaulted a schoolgirl. These two Afghan migrants raped a schoolgirl in a park. This Sudanese man, he was an illegal again. He stabbed a migrant hotel worker to death. Again, I could go on and on and on. Why is it that the government cares more about an app that can put Sir Keir Starmer in a bikini than they do about schoolgirls being raped and abused by Pakistani men and illegal immigrants? This hypocrisy has been noticed at the very highest level of the US government. The State Department is putting out posts like this now in America. British government threatening to ban X. We are as determined to ensure women and girls are as safe online as we are to ensure they are safe in the real world. Well, then they post this. They say, well, an article accusing a Labour council leader of calling rape gang victims white trash. So they're noticing the hypocrisy. Elon Musk has now waged war with Starmer. I mean, just today he posted real fascism is arresting thousands of people for social media posts. Look, It is already illegal for people to make sexualised, AI-generated images of other people, especially children, obviously, and those people are sick, and they need to be arrested, and they need to be put away for a very, very long time. There's no doubt about that. But what I think is going on here is that the Labour government is actually using the online sexual abuse of women and girls to get what it really wants, which is censorship and the closure of a huge public platform where people criticise the Labour Party all day long. And you know what? I think that's actually pretty sick as well.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living. And maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind. The more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
Get the thoughts of my panel. The Express columnist Carol Malone, we've got broadcaster and journalist Benjamin Butterworth, former chairman of the Tory party, Sir Jake Berry. Carol, do you think that the Labour government is, in a sense, using the sexual abuse through images of women and children online to ban X, to clamp down on it because it doesn't like the platform?
I don't think it's in a sense. I think it absolutely is that. You know, big tech should not be above the law, especially where abuse and harassment is concerned. But let's not pretend that's what really this is all about. This is about the fact that the Liberal left and Starmer and this government hate Twitter, always have, and they've hated it since Musk took over, mainly because he uses it as his own personal megaphone to rage against them all on a regular basis, almost every day. He's used it to rage against them about the grooming gangs, about illegal immigration, about all sorts of about transgender issues. It's interesting, isn't it, that before Musk took over Twitter, it was a bannable offence to refer to a trans woman as a man. Since he took over, the war on women's rights, re-trans issues, has been won on Twitter because of brave women like J.K. Rowling and Sharon Davis. So the left hate Twitter because, remember, we're ruled by a government that hates freedom of speech. It doesn't want to hear the opinions or the passions of us, the electorate. They couldn't care less, and they certainly don't want to be admonished by us. You know, Twitter can be a cesspit, Patrick, but the bottom line is, and it can be a cesspit for some of the worst, most vile people on the planet. However, it is also a platform for people who don't have a voice to raise their concerns about this government.
Are there also concerns about the independence of Ofcom here? Because I could be wrong about this, but I don't think there was any question of Ofcom doing an investigation into this until they came under quite significant political pressure from the Labour Party.
Well, clearly, they absolutely have come under political pressure. Look, I know Ofcom reacts to political pressure because I was subject to an Ofcom complaint when I was a Conservative Member of Parliament. I know that was triggered by a Labour Party MP. By the way, I might say Twitter is actually how I found out about that complaint. They never bothered to notify me themselves. Look, this government is the closest thing to a dictatorship that we have ever known in Britain. They are banning platforms like Twitter, potentially they're talking about it, appreciate they've not done it yet. That is a huge outlet for freedom of speech. Let's not forget those pictures of people in Iran. You wouldn't have most of those pictures. You wouldn't know what was going on in Iran unless we had free, you know...
You couldn't trust the BBC to report.
You couldn't trust the BBC to, unless you had citizen journalism through Twitter. They're banning elections. They're going to ban up to 28 elections this year. That will mean, in some areas, like Blackburn with Darwin, for example, where I used to represent, there will be councillors elected for 7 years on a 4-year term. They're persecuting Freemasons, trying to stop them, making them declare membership of Freemasons if they want to go into public office. This is a government that is actually doing the classic thing that dictatorships have done around the world and claiming it is in the name of democracy. This is completely wrong, and the British people need to wake up, recognise this for what it is. It is brutal censorship of the British public.
But I mean, they can't realistically claim that this is all about protecting women and girls when they have not given a toss about women and girls when it comes to the epidemic of rapes by asylum seekers and illegal immigrants, or indeed the Pakistani rape gang scandal.
I found everything that's been said so far pretty pathetic as a deflection. I mean, you've got a situation here where you have the richest man in the world has a system that allows people to create sexual pictures or videos of strangers and of children. But you're not saying that, are you? Because you're deflecting.
I'm sorry,
you're deflecting from it.
If you were listening before, I think I said it twice in that monologue. And yet, it should not be allowed. I also said those people who do
first of all,
should be arrested and put in prison for a very long time.
First of all, your comparison to the car is ridiculous. You know, if a drug dealer uses Excel to record the amount of money he takes from drug dealing, Excel isn't creating the drug dealing. Whereas in this situation, the technology created and permitted by Elon Musk's Twitter is allowing them to make these images. It would not be possible
to a Christmas market if a car didn't exist.
It would not be. But no, because the fact is that Elon Musk could have stopped this. There are other platforms. The Google AI system already did not allow you to create images like this. And Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, has not immediately said, actually, this is sick and it should be stopped straight away. He didn't do that. He's put the brakes on, to use a car analogy. He's failed to fix it. And then he started saying that we should put sanctions on the UK if you don't. Now, how pathetic for British people to not stand up to a foreign person just because he's rich and right-wing, to not say that this should be banned if you don't stop sexualising British children.
Willing to shut down online discussion is a threat.
It's not about the discussion. It's about pedos having an ability to sexualise kids.
The only other democratic country to have shut.
You either think it's right or wrong, Carol.
You just had a long talk. The only other democratic country to shut down Twitter was Brazil. That's the only other country. The other ones Patrick mentioned in his monologue, which I was listening to, Russia, China, North Korea.
You think they should? You think if they continue as they are to allow you to make these sick images,
there is a law that
they should not be faced with consequence?
There is a law that already exists that you can persecute people who actually but no one's being.
Why should he continue to make profit?
If I may, Benjamin. So first of all, Twitter isn't producing these images. It's Grok. That's the first thing. Let's be absolutely clear about this. Right. So the government could leave Twitter, which is a public platform for debate, and cancel Grok. They're not talking about that. They're talking about cancelling the public platform for debate. That shows what's truly motivating them. They want to shut debate down. And the second thing is, I tell you what is really, really distasteful about this. As Patrick pointed out in his introduction, this is already a crime. In fact, not only is it a crime producing the images, even requesting the images. So if I put in Grok, please produce an image, an inappropriate image of a child, which is disgusting and something no one should ever do, the request itself would be a crime. That is not being enforced. Let me finish. That is not being enforced by the government. All these create new crimes. The crimes that we already have, which are being committed, which are appalling, the police are doing nothing about it. And if the government was serious about clamping down on the sort of vile paedophiles that are using this platform, they wouldn't be talking about making it a crime. They would make Twitter and other social media outlets a publishing platform so they could be held to account, and they're not talking about
the obvious flaw in that is that, first of all, you would have to track down the user in order to pursue the existing crime. And if someone in Malaysia or Florida creates a picture of your kid in this country that is sexually explicit, then you can't prosecute under that law. You would have to take on the platform. And if the platform is allowing someone anywhere in the world to take sexual pictures of your children in this country, you have to take the platform on.
you would ban X?
Well, I would like them to stop allowing the technology.
If they don't...
Well, I would like to ban the technology, not the platform.
Okay,
but if they choose to not fix the problem, then how pathetic to let them keep doing it and profiting from doing it.
In the meantime, why don't you just boycott X, then?
Well, I have. I've been hacked,
Well, why
so I can't
doesn't
use it.
But
just to be clear, they're making money off these images.
So are you.
Right?
You're making... Not with those images, sorry, I'll clarify that. But there's an X about being on X.
I'm not on X, right? But
only because you've been hacked. Previously you are, and you're a subscriber.
Just to be clear, they make money off tweets when you see the adverts. So all of these pictures, they are making money off. I think that is sick, and I think we should say that if you keep doing it, then you don't have a right to exist.
Do you seriously think that's what this argument is all about? The threats to close Twitter? But I don't. I believe it's because Twitter...
So you think they should be allowed to carry on?
Twitter has been a thorn... When did I say that?
But that's what you're saying by consequence.
To Starmer and his government since the day he bought...
If the government really cared about this, if they really, really believe that this was so wrong, why is the government, the UK government, still advertising on X? Why are government ministers still using X? Why are Labour backbenchers still using X? This is about a war between the Prime Minister and Elon Musk. Exactly. If they're so appalled about it, stop paying my taxpayers' money to advertise on the platform. They haven't done that yet because they only care about closing down free speech.
I think fundamentally when you look around at how long in Labour areas the Pakistani rape gang scandal was allowed to carry on, you look at things like what we're seeing now with this tidal wave of sexual assaults and crimes and murders in some cases, predominantly against women and underage girls committed by people who just arrived to the channel. Those, as bad as obviously all the images that are being produced on Grok are, and they should be banned and all of that stuff, don't get me wrong, but you've got a lot of people kind of in real life physically being attacked here, and they don't seem to care as much about that at all as they do about any of this.
Do you remember Starmer's response to Musk when Musk criticised him over the grooming gangs? He said anyone who supported justice for these girls had jumped on the far right.
He did not say that at all.
He
did not say that.
He said people...
That is a completely fake quote. That is completely made up. He didn't say anybody who supports justice for girls.
No, he did not say supports justice for girls. He said people who didn't support the inquiry into the grooming gangs. That's what he said. And Starmer was not supporting that inquiry at the time.
OK, all right, well, look, let's see what happens, because, like I said, that latest line about an hour or so ago, Keir Starmer said that if Elon Musk won't control Grok, then he will. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Keir Starmer can't control Elon Musk. That's the reason he really wants to ban it.
Right. Well, you want Elon Musk to control the British Prime Minister. That's the problem here. That's the most pathetic part about it. Outsourcing to a foreign billionaire.
Oh, OK, all right, there we go.